Hi, this is Krisha Google, the coach for the St. Genevieve High School Competitive Speech and Debate team. First, I want to thank you so much for offering to judge for us this season. We have a very large team, and so we need your help, and I really appreciate your willingness to give up some time to be able to judge for us. I'm going to start with a sample ballot so that you understand what they look like and what the expectations are for you as a judge. First of all, if you look up in the every time I do this it blocks things off, but if you look up in the top right hand corner, this is where you will write the round, the section, and the room. All of this information will be on a schedule that you will be given when you come to the event, and I'll show you the schedule here in just a moment. This ballot is for dramatic interpretation, but most of the ballots look very similar to this. They just have different headings here. So you'll write the contestant's name. They'll have a school code. The reason they have school codes is because we don't necessarily want the judges to know which school they are from, just to eliminate any possible bias. And so the school code will be a number and a letter, and then you'll write down the selection and, of course, the date of the competition. Right here where it says A, B, C, D, E underneath time limit, these are the things that you want to look for as you are judging. And these questions are here to lead you to a greater understanding of what kind of critique you should be giving in each area. When you go to write down comments, you can write them next to each one. You know, they match. Or you can write down several down here. I do want to stress that the kids really like comments, and they need comments to help them improve their performance. So anything that you see that they need to improve upon, please let them know that they need to fix it. Don't worry about hurting their feelings. They get more frustrated when they get a ballot back and they've gotten 5th place in the room and the only comment on the ballot is, "Great job." You know, they just would like to know why they got 5th, and they would like to know what they can do to make it a better performance. So speaking of ranking and rating, if you look right here, the rank is going to be the place that you put them in the room. So if there are 8 people in the room, they will be either 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. So you'll place them 1st, clearly the best, and then 8th, not so awesome. So, or at least not the most awesome in the room. And so you'll place them 1st through 8th here, and then the rating is excellent, superior, good, average, or below average. And then you'll just put the letter for whichever one you think that they are. And then the points are these numbers next to each letter. Now, to give you an understanding of how this works, let's say that you have 2 students in the room who you thought were excellent, but there was one that you thought deserved 1st more than the other one. Obviously, you have to decide that because we can't have ties. But one way that you can make sure that you are giving them the right rating is to make sure that the person who is 1st has the higher number. So let's say that you wanted to rank your 1st and 2nd place people, you wanted to rate them as excellent. You could put them both as E, but maybe your 1st place would get a 24 and your 2nd place would get a 22. Just make sure that if you're going to rank them a certain way, that their rating coincides with that. Okay, and then clearly this is where you would sign. It's very important for you to understand that you cannot give any oral critiques to the students. You cannot tell them verbally how you felt about their performance or anything like that. I mean, you can tell them all that it was a good job at the end, but do not individually critique anyone right there in the room. When you are finished with all of the ballots, you'll actually bring them to the coaching and judges room, and you'll know where that is because that's where you'll go at the very beginning when you first arrive at your destination. I wanted to show you real quick what the MSHA handbook looks like. This right here is, well, let me find dramatic interpretation since we had the dramatic interpretation ballot. This right here is, these are the rules for dramatic interpretation. This section should be attached inside your folder that has your ballots so that you can look over it and see what the rules are. And then you want to make sure that your contestants are doing what they should be doing. So, for example, if you have someone who comes in and they do an excellent dramatic interpretation, but they have note cards, well, then they're breaking the rule that it's supposed to be memorized. So just keep those rules in mind. You might want to look over those when you get to your room. I want to talk to you about the scheduling too, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what that will look like as well. When you get to the competition, you will be handed a sheet that has charts that look like this. It actually will look a lot more busy than this one, but you will look for your event that you are judging, which will decide what you're going to judge when we get there. We'll have assigned places for the St. Genevieve judges, and then we can kind of talk amongst all the judges and decide who's going to do what. But you look for your event, and then you look for your judge number. Okay, now right here it says Bloomfield 1. At the events that you're going to be helping me with, it will just say 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D, because that's the St. Genevieve's code is 4. Okay, so you'll be looking for your code, and then these are all of the contestants. These are all of the students that you will have in your room. At the event, we will go over last-minute changes right before the round starts, and we will let you know if you need to drop anyone or add anyone to your room. But basically, after we've given you those changes, you need to make sure that every single one of those people on your list performs for you before you leave the room. A couple of notes about the events themselves. First of all, they start at 4 o'clock, but I would love for you to be there around 3:30 or 3:45 so that I'm not panicking that you're not going to be able to make it. So if you could get there at 3:30 or 3:45, that would be fantastic. We will probably do a quick meeting around 3:45-ish, 3:50 to tell people about changes, drops, moves, that kind of thing. And then each round lasts about an hour to an hour and a half. Once you're finished with that round, you'll bring your ballots back to the coaches and judges room, and we will give you your next assignment if you have one. Please plan on spending your evening with us. The cool thing is that we feed you. There will be food and drinks and probably plenty of not so awesome goodies for you, meaning be prepared to gain some weight. So anyway, so that's how that goes. I'm not sure if I have covered every single thing for you, but please feel free to email me. My email is sgdragons.org. Here, I'll put it in here. I'll put it right here, great big, so that you guys can write it down if you need to. Please let me know if you have any questions. Once again, thank you very much for volunteering to give up some of your time to judge for our kids. They really do appreciate you being there, and I think some of them really enjoy it when you come because they can show off their skills, their mad speech and debate skills. Thanks again, and I will look forward to seeing you soon.